Hi, welcome in everybody. Thank you very much for being so patient and waiting. I put a 5 minute timer on. I thought I'd be fine with a 5 minute timer, but that just took ages to just sitting here doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs. So maybe just a 2 minute timer next time. But yeah, thank you very much for joining. It's been a while since I've gone live. I don't know. I think we've only done like one doodle on Discord since this year. So yeah, I'm keen to get on to a few more live streams this week specifically. Corp Academy is taking a little bit of a break this week, so yeah, it should free me up for a bit more online drawing. But yeah, thank you very much for joining and for being here. Really appreciate it. Just a couple of things before we get started. One is if you want to join in, you can join in. It's all going to be step by step, pretty easy to follow with today's drawing. The other thing is if you can support my application for an abstract creator, would really appreciate that. All we need to do is just share this feed. You should see a little message down the bottom. Just keep an eye on that little message down the bottom. Share the feed, tag in Abstract Chain, and you know, just pester them about why they've not authorized me as a creator yet. So fingers crossed that'll come soon. We'll see how we're getting on. But yeah, let's get on with some drawing, shall we? You don't want to sit here looking at my face. Hi, Silent X. Thanks for joining in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, like I say, if you want to join in, you can do. These are the pens that we're going to use. Well, these are the materials that I'm going to use. First of all, I'm using my Art Gecko. One thing that everybody asks me, what sketchbook do I use for Posca Pens? Because I'm going to do some Posca paint marker work today. And it's an Art Gecko freestyle sketchbook. It's a really nice sketchbook. It's got really thick pages. Got like feels like a bit of a coating over it, which is why the Posca just sits on it really, really nicely. Like I say, if you want to join in, these are the colours that I'm using for today's session. Let me start at the top and work my way down. So I know what character we're going to draw. It's a doggo, one from somebody else's dog-based NFT project. So just to show there's no hard feelings there. We're going to draw a dog. I think it's called a doggo anyway. But yeah, a grey and a deep grey are the first two colours. I'd say deep grey is for the cap. We're going to draw a cap on this character. I should probably just go and grab a yellow, actually. Let's put a yellow. That's a straw yellow as well. Straw yellow is a little bit more opaque than a regular yellow in Posca. So yeah, those two colours are for the cap. Down here then we've got a white and normal grey. These are going to be for the main colours of the dog. So we'll use those just for a little bit of a shadow. Going to use a lot of the white paper that's going to pop through. That's going to show us there's going to be the main colour of the dog today. On saying that, there is going to be a few little kind of bits and bobs on the inside of the dog that need a bit of colour. One is a little bit of brown in the eyes, so that's just a regular brown. Yeah, regular brown for the eyes, just a little tiny detail in the eye. And then we're going to two-tone with the tongue, so we're going to use red and coral pink for the tongue. If you've only got red or you only got coral pink, that'll be fine. But we're just going to put a little tiny shine on the tongue with that. Obviously, because I'm working on trying to get as a creator on abstract, we're going to use this apple green, which is the closest green I can find to the abstract green, and it actually comes out quite nice, as you can see. Pours out quite nice on there as a nice green colour. Finish off. So yeah, all of those pens are PC5Ms, big fat pens. Yeah, you get your drawing done a lot quicker if you use these big fat pens. But then I'm going to use a 3M in black. Yeah, 3M in black, just for a couple of outlines and stuff like that. Okay. So there you go. That's what I'm using. You might be able to see I have put a little, just full disclosure. It's been a while since I've done any drawing, so I feel a little bit rusty. Yeah, full disclosure, there are a couple of little indicators, a few little anchors on this page in pencil, just to help me with some of the scale of this character that we're going to draw. On saying that, I am still going to go in with a black pen to start this drawing off. So yeah, feel free to I don't know. Feel free to join in. It's too late to put these little markers on for you, but yeah, feel free to join in. So yeah, anybody who's in, just do me a favor, tap the heart button on the feed. If you could do me a favor and do a little bit of chatting in the feed as well, see if that works, because I think I've got like a thing that kind of shows the chat here. So yeah, always show messages. Let's do that. So yeah, just do me a favor, put something in the chat, because I just want to see if it pops up down below. You see this like big empty space down here? That is meant to be for the Twitter chat or the X chat. So yeah, throw something in there. So Silent Facts, I didn't see whether yours kind of popped up in there or not. I wasn't on the ball enough, and it disappeared after 15 seconds. I've turned that bit off. Yeah, it does. It works. Kind of works, doesn't it? Do I need to make that a little? Should I make that font size a little bit smaller? Let's change it to about half that. Of course, it's disappeared now because I've updated the widget. But yeah, I just want to get that widget just right, so we can all kind of have a chat as well. Thank you for checking in though, Silent Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Because now we can actually see your name in there. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Right. Okay, let's not muck around. Let's get started. So I'm going to use a Posca PC3M to get started with. I'm going to go and put in the nose and the top of the snout on this little doggo. So it's going to. Where's my drawing? Yeah, there it is. It's going to go from about there over to about there. There's my start. That's my snout. And I will double line everything I do. That's one of my top techniques. Anybody who wants to learn to draw. When you're first starting out, you want to double line everything. Now, double lining isn't about making the line twice as thick, it's about making it twice as wonky. So lines like that, rather than just trying to do one smooth line, I would go over it again. And I would make it a little bit wonkier. So we've got some fat bits in there, we've got some thin bits in that line. If your lines are wonky all the way through, it kind of holds your artwork together a lot better. It's much easier to draw that way. Yeah, just try it out, see how you get on. All right, let's go and put this nose in. So we've got this like triangle shaped nose, just curl it around, but it's got a reflection. We're going to let the reflection's white, so we're going to let the paper pop through to give us that reflection, which the reflection's kind of over here. So when I said at the start of the session that I put in a few little pencil marks on here just to get things so they're roughly in the right place, there's a lot of stuff on here that hasn't got pencil marks in. So I've got like a couple of indicators, and they're just like little dots, little scratches. A couple of indicators for where this snout and nose should go, but nothing for where the reflection should go and stuff like that. So I am trying to do a little bit of it by eye. How's that look? Awesome. If you identify which doggo it is as well, that would be really cool, or who this doggo belongs to, that would be really cool as well. I just got to wait for that to dry for a few seconds because I'm going to get up top. Shall I zoom in a bit as well? I think I can zoom in a little bit. Not a huge amount. That's something that needs a bit of work, isn't it? You might have noticed I've updated the background as well. So the background is all kind of all this like green, abstract green everywhere as well. Right, yeah, let's go and put the eyes in. So let's go for big old round eyes. About there. The other eye, where does that live? About there. And again, I'm not too fussed with double lining that bit because I'm going to colour that bit in black in a second, so we don't have to worry about that. We are going to have some reflections in, so let's go and whack in. Little oval there, little oval there. Already it looks a little bit weird. But for some reason these eyes have got a little bit of brown in, like a little brown sausage shape in them, which I find a little bit unusual, but is quite nice. That's white. Let's not use white. Let's use brown. Let's turn those pens around so you can see the colours. But yeah, it's got like this little brown sausage kind of shape, which just goes around the edge here. Yeah, that looks right. And then on the other side, don't see quite so much of it on the other side because it is hidden behind the snout. What you will notice as well, and I'm not got an issue with it, is you can see that the brown that I'm using is now kind of going over the black that I've already put in. I don't tend to worry about stuff like that. When you're drawing with Posca pens, the first thing you're doing is just making a bit of a mess with them, just chucking on like loads of shapes, loads of colour, and stuff like that. Then it's afterwards that you start to, add a little bit of finesse to it. Okay, let's go and put in where this mouth is. So we've got a little kind of upside down V shape like that for the mouth. And we're going to give that a few seconds to dry as well, because I need to put a red tongue in there. In fact, let's just go and do it now. The only reason I'm trying to give it a little bit of time to dry is because I don't want anything bleeding. I'll try and keep this quite clean. So there you go, a little red tongue sticking out. And again, with that red tongue, we'll put a little bit of coral pink over the top to make it really pop out. It looks pretty crap at the moment, doesn't it? One bit of advice I always give my students as well is that your artwork, any drawings that you do, always look crap to start off with. They're always going to look rubbish. Even when you're halfway through, it's not until like the last 10% of the amount of time. So when you get right to that end bit, that's when it all starts to come together and starts to look okay. So yeah, don't worry if it's looking a bit rubbish at the moment. It's meant to look rubbish at this stage. It could still look rubbish at the end. That does happen. But yeah, hopefully this one will be okay. This one's kind of going to plan. Would you believe? So yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. Likewise, if you can share the feed, just repost it. That would really help to spread the word about what's going on. Thanks, Silent Thanks. Silent Thanks already sent out, reposted this. Says, get this man on the creator program, Luca Nets. He's been streaming consistently and had amazing dude on Discord for a year. Consistency is key for streamers, and corporate is consistent. Don't even get me started on his Corporate Academy content. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. It's I would have settled for just a quick repost, but that kind of stuff is golden. So thank you very much. Appreciate that, mate. Right, where are we? What should we do? What are we going to do next? Let's go and put this cap in. So with the cap, I think I'm going to use the deep grey. And a bit of a weird looking line. So we'll do the actual top of the cap first, which I think is about here. So it's going to go from one eye to the other eye. Yeah, bit of one eye all the way over here. So let's try that from about there to about there. I think that looks okay. Then, so that's this bit part of the cap that we've just drawn in, just there. So we're going to put the top part in. So that top part will go. I've just got to be careful where I'm putting my hands because everything's wet down there. The top part will go just there. And what does the other side look like? The other side. Just there. You can put a little button on the top if you want. I should point out this is the front panel of the cap. We are going to have a little bit going off to the side here, which is why that button looks a little bit off center at the moment. So don't let that bug you. I know that's the kind of thing that would bug me, that it's off center. It will be more on center when we put the rest of the cap in. Okay, so let's chill out about that. Right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try and put in the peak of the cap. So we've got, we'll see the top first, then we'll see the front, and then we'll see the underneath. Okay, so the top part, it's just going to jump out from this bit, and it's going to hook around and slide across, join that top bit up here at about the halfway point, just there, I think. So let's go jumping down. Going across there, that's the top of the cap. Then we're going to do the front part of the cap. Front part of the cap. This time, this time it's going to come out a little bit under here. Go across like that, all the way across. And then as we go over this side, we're going to loop round again. So this is the tricky bit. Go over this side. Loop round again. So that bit, that little loop there, becomes like the underside of the cap. Okay, let's just finish off this top bit like that. That's close enough. I think that'll do. So you can see what I've done there is I've just used the pen to kind of give me a bit of a shape for the cap. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to colour the whole thing so it just becomes one block of colour. I kind of like doing that because what it means is that I can just tweak the shape a little bit. So if I need to make certain bits bigger, certain bits smaller, I can do. I can also choose where I put my black outlines on the inside. So I kind of commit that to memory, what that looks like, and then kind of play around with the black lines later on. And that's the other thing as well. When you're drawing with Posca pens, what you want to do is you want to put in the colours first. Well, put in the guidelines first, which for me was those little pencil lines, but usually I just go straight in with pen and hope for the best. I try usually not to draw recognisable characters, because if you're drawing a recognisable character, if it doesn't look like that character, then it becomes quite disappointing. So I try to draw like my own dogs, but you know, with a bit of a twist, so maybe make them zombies or something like that, or just make them look a bit weird. Or I try to just, in general, draw weird characters. Because if like you're drawing something and it's meant to look like something else, and then you accidentally put a big lump in the wrong place, it can be quite disheartening. It stops you from enjoying your artwork. And I'm all for teaching people how to enjoy artwork. And one of the big things for me is knowing So I'm concentrating on where I'm colouring in here. Yeah, one of the big things for me is knowing that making up your own characters, drawing weird stuff like zombies, you enjoy that a lot more. You know, an extra lump on a zombie is going to make it look better. So why not draw a zombie rather than a human? If you draw on a human, you put a big lump on the side of their face, it's just going to look deformed, and you're going to be disheartened. So yeah, that's my main reason. That's my main reason for drawing zombies and stuff like that. Yeah, thank you, mate. You support the mission, yeah, and you've been a huge support. I do appreciate that. What I really need, I don't know if I've got it or not, but let me just turn my volume up a bit. What I really need is a little ding. Little ding if somebody says something. Let's have a look. What's in the chat notifications is disabled. Okay, Simon, thanks. I'm really sorry. Your comments are going to go missing again. Going to enable that, and there we go. I think I've just put on some sort of weird noise every time somebody comments now. Thank you. I appreciate you testing it out for me, though, mate. We will get it just right, and then I won't have to tweak it anymore. Where are we with this then? What should we do next? Let's go and put in the rest of the. No, I'm going to do. Let's go and do the eyes. I want to get those eyes sorted because they're bugging me a little bit that they're kind of half finished. So yeah, we're going to outline that sausage shape. Colour in the rest of the eye. Leave the white for the reflection showing through. One of my top tips is always putting a little reflection in the eyes. Just makes your character look a little bit more alive. There we go. You might have noticed I'm using a fatter pen for this bit because it's colouring in. I didn't have this right at the start of the session. This is a 5M black. So it's just a little bit fatter, just so I can get this colouring in done a little tiny bit quicker. I can see a little mark which is bugging me, so I am going to just go and fix that. Not that bit, but I will fix that. But this bit over here. And you can see as well, these eyes aren't particularly round. They're a little bit wonky, which again is okay. I like that. Remember I said about as well just bringing that snout line back to the front again. We can bring that back to the front because those brown lines went over the top. But let's just bring it back. Look, that looks nice. Right, tongue's dry. Let's go and put a little. Let's go and do a little bit of detail in the tongue. So first bit, little reflection over on the side, a bit bigger than I wanted. Doesn't matter. And then let's go and outline the rest of this. So what we've got is where that reflection kind of sits. There's no black outline near there. So we're just going to put this bit down here. It's going to disappear just there, and it's going to come back about there. Now generally, when you're drawing with Posca pens, if you want to try flicking off, now flicking off is a way of getting like real thin tapered ends to your drawings. So you want to try that out as much as possible. If you can't flick off, if you struggle with that, then do these little kind of dots and dashes. It creates a little bit of a crease in there without it being like a full-on fat line. Okay, let's go and put in the rest of this mouth. So we're going to do that bit. We're also going to just make the tongue a little bit rounder. How's that look? Maybe a little bit fatter there. I'm changing things by millimeters just to try and get it as accurate as possible. I normally wouldn't be showing people how to draw like this. I'd normally be going for something a little bit weird, because you can loosen up when you're drawing something a bit weird. Thank you, Feed Me Palmo, for liking the post. Right, where are we going now? We've done the right. We're going to go and put in some of the main parts of this character because we're 27 minutes in. I really want to get some more of this character in, so I'm going to use the grey. Light grey in Posca is just called grey, so I'm just going to use this grey. I'm going to throw in a few little bits just for the shadow underneath the character. Once that's dry, we'll then put in some black lines to give it loads more shape. But let's go. Where are we here? Let's do this line that goes underneath the cheek. So it kind of goes from I know that bit is there, so let's go from about there. A big curve. Is that about right? And maybe a bit further than that. Yeah, that's about right. Because the character's kind of looking over to that side a little bit, you know, as you're drawing further back behind the character, you're shifting things over to this side a little bit. So that's the chin of this character. Let's go and put in this kind of like the outside edge of the snout, the fluffy bit. It's like a W shape. It's the same on both sides. It kind of starts. You see where this snout bit kind of comes out here? It kind of continues that line. It disappears and it comes back about there. And we get a shape like that. That's pointing in towards the mouth. That's kind of close enough. Let's go and do something similar on the other side. So this time it's going to come from about there. Let's go up. Yeah, that'll be all right. That looks good enough for me as the snout. I'm going to put some little shadows on this snout, mainly because I've already gone quite thick just there, so I'm going to go a bit thicker elsewhere. Let's go and throw in these little shadows. So we've got one there, we've got this bit here, just needs thickening out. Up. That looks all right. Shadow underneath. Let's go and put that in. So we've got like this neckline. So it kind of comes from there. Where's the other part of the neck? The other part of the neck is under that part of the mouth. So just there. There's our neck, and then we've got this big old shadow appearing under the neck, which goes from this side down to about there, I think. I've got so the person whose PFP this is, I've got it on screen. So if you can see me kind of looking over in that direction, that is where their PFP is. There we go. That's nice. That's the neck. Okay, we've got these other bits. We're going to do the side of the head now. So this bit's going to come out from there. It's going to hook in. It's going to land about there. So let's be brave with it. And we've got a shadow in there as well. Yeah, over the other side. Where's that? From about there. Little curve in. Do that shadow in a minute. There's a shadow there, but we've got some big floppy ears to put in. So I want to get these floppy ears in about the right place. So let's go for this side first. We're going to jump a little line out. I'm going to do this top bit in grey. Now technically there's no grey on the actual PFP, but I'm going to put this little top bit in grey. I think it'll work. Where are we? So we jump off. We kind of come in. Little lip there. Little lip there, and then another big old V-shape to tuck us in. You might also notice that I'm looking over in that direction. So I've got the PFP in that direction, which I'm copying. But then over this direction, I've got the overhead camera, so the feed that you can see, this feed you can see is over in this direction. So what I like is just having a little look in that direction just to see if everything kind of looks like it's in scale. Because here, when I'm looking at it, I'm kind of looking at it from a weird angle, and I can't get my head all the way over the top because you'll not be able to see what's going on. Right, other side. Let's go and do that other side. So what have we got over here? It's going to start about here. We've got that little lip first. Where are we going to finish off? We're going to finish off in there. So let's go from there. Little lip. Then a slightly bigger one, and then this V shape to finish off. I think that looks okay. Reasonably even, probably not enough shape across the top of that ear, but yeah, it's close enough. It'll do. Okay, right, let's go and stick in the last couple of shadows and put some outlines on this. We've got a little shadow underneath the cap as well. I'll come to that in a minute because I'm going to do something weird with that cap. In fact, no, I'll do it now, right? So with this cap, there's a little shadow under there, but in order to get a real thin line, I need to cut out or cut in on the line. So cutting in is essentially where you put in like a layer of one color, you draw your thing on top of it, and then you take that layer that's underneath and you use it to kind of just chop out shapes, so you get these real kind of sharp edges. So that's what cutting in is. So we're going to just do a little tiny bit of that. So I'm going to put the shadow, it's going to go over this grey, this deep grey, like that. So it looks a bit messy at the moment, which is okay, because what we're going to do is when that's dry, we're going to take that deep grey and we're going to bring that deep grey back to the front again. am I doing? And yeah, okay, so it's dry enough now. So watch this. So I'm going to take that's grey. I'm going to take the deep grey, the colour of the cap, and I'm just going to take a little bit out here. And a little bit out the bottom. You see how we get that little tiny shadow just tucked up in there? That looks about the right place for that shadow. Change the shape of that a little bit. I think that'll be okay. You might, yeah, you will have noticed, obviously, the little white lines that I've left in the top there. Main reason for that is because I wanted to give myself a little bit of an indicator of where the black lines are going to go when we put the black lines in. Okay, let's wrap this up. I'm really keen to get this finished. We're going to put some more shadows on. So this next shadow's from there, little W, well, little kind of N shape, I suppose. Let's go from here. Up to the top there. Again, I'm just going to leave a little tiny bits of white showing through, which will all eventually be behind the black line. So there's another tip for you. When you're drawing with Posca pens, what you want to do is, if you know that a black line needs to go in a specific place, leave these little gaps, because you can hide loads of stuff behind the black lines, because we're going to go thick and wonky with those black lines. So little things like that, they're kind of like mental notes for you, or physical notes that help you remember where your lines are going to be. And it's just knowing that your black lines are going to cover over loads of like mistakes, indicators, things that you've put in there. Right, over on this side, let's go out from here. That kind of look okay. Yeah, so that worked. GM Joff. Been testing out the X feed, the conversation feed down below, just to see if we can get people's comments popping up. And yeah, I've recently just turned on audio, so it was quite nice to have an audio, and then, you know, I'm not going to miss the fact that you've said hello. Hey, Joff. Hope you're doing all right. Joff was sleeping. Yeah, Joff deserves a bit of a sleep. He's worked unbelievably hard over the last few weeks. I mean, don't get me wrong, he works hard before that, but unbelievably hard over the last few weeks, kind of just trying to get corp dogs into a good place again. No one told me. That's like you know, tell me you haven't got me on notifications without telling me you haven't got me on notifications. Sorry, Jeff. There's only two of us in the team. Well, there's only two of us as founders. You know, you'd think I could talk to Joff a bit more about these things. Don't wind him up, Simon, thanks. Right, let's get some black outlines on this, because, oh yeah, we need to put the logo in on the cap as well. I'll put the logo in later. I really can't bother to put it in right now. I'll do that later. Let's, generally when I'm putting black outlines on, no, let me take that. Let me rewind just a little bit, right? When I'm doing drawings like this, normally what I do is I put the colour on. I'll start at the back and then put the colour on that's closer to me. So for example, I'd start with like the back of the neck here, and then the closest bit would be the nose. So I'd usually colour in that format, just so you can put the colours on top of each other and it looks like they're in front. But then when it comes to outlining, I like to start at the front and then work my way back with it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start on the peak of the cap, this part of the cap. I'm going to go and put that bit in. So that's going to live around about here. And also, yeah, double wonky. So we'll go over that line. We'll do it once, then we'll do it twice. So where does that bit go? That bit It's going to go across, down like that. So we can do the peak of the cap now, which will look like that. Oh my word, all over the place there, look. I mean, that'll do. It's not where I really wanted it to be, but that'll do. Right, let's double line that. And so you remember what I was saying about putting those little white lines in so I know where to put the black lines? That's completely... I think that white line was meant to be for this one underneath, which I didn't quite do. Good thing about Posca pens is you can just sort of reposition these things if you need to. So I might, in fact, should I do that? Let's do that. Let's tidy it up. So that line was supposed to be across there. Love it. I genuinely enjoy it when little mistakes happen, when things go wrong. Happy little accidents. Because I think for me, half of being an artist is being comfortable with the fact that you're going to make some mistakes, but you're going to know how to fix them. The worst thing about being an artist is not knowing how to fix the mistakes you're going to make, and that's what makes you nervous about drawing. Well, that's what stops you enjoying your drawing quite so much. So yeah, I believe like this kind of thing of knowing how to fix your mistakes is really important. So yeah, when little mistakes like that do happen, when they pop up, I quite enjoy it because it means I can actually physically demonstrate how you can fix these things. So what we're going to do now, what I did there was I put the black lines, the real black lines, the better black lines in, and I'm now going to take the dodgy black lines, I'm going to take them out by putting this on, putting this grey on. So it's going to go into about there. You see how we're losing some of these black lines now starting to disappear. That's kind of what we want. There is going to be another little layer on there. I'll go back on with the black line again just to tidy it all up, but that looks a lot more in proportion to me. I am just going to bring this bit over there because I want that part of the side of the cap, I want that to go all the way to the back. Okay, let's leave that to dry and quickly outline the top part of the cap. You can usually tell if I'm concentrating on a specific line because I go a little bit quiet. In order to get a smooth line, my technique for getting a smooth line or trying to draw if a long line or something like that, or just one where I'm just trying not to have any like weird bits in it. Normally I fully embrace weird bits. I love a weird bit in a line, but I wanted to get that quite smooth, and what I do is I hold my breath. So in order to get like a smooth line, I try and hold my breath. I know that's not particularly smooth. You'll be laughing at me for that. That's a really dodgy line, but yeah, I hold my breath. If I've got like a real long smooth line to do, I'm in trouble because you start to get a little bit lightheaded. Matt Roblex, thank you, mate. Glad you like it. You've joined in just at the right time. It's actually starting to take shape, starting to look like something now. Beforehand, it just all looked a bit weird, but we're getting there now. I'm going to leave that cap to dry for a little bit. Let's go around the dog's head. Double lining it. Just keeping a little bit of this in. Corp draws smooth lines like he's a sniper going in for a 1,000-meter shot. Yeah, mate, I'll take that. I did so. One of my biggest videos on Facebook, I think it got like 2 million views. Yeah, 2 million views, something like that. And it was just me drawing one line, just one line. But it was just a really super smooth line. But yeah, everything has to be quiet. No breathing. Try and stop your heart from beating because you'll get little indications. Yeah, silent thanks. You're just saying exactly the same thing. I don't do that. There's no drugs involved in any of my artwork. In fact, one of the things I always say to people is if you don't want your kids to do drugs, get them into art because they'll never have enough money for drugs. Let's finish off this here. Stop distracting me. Where are we going with this? So it's going up there and then another little loop to there. Got big hair on there. Oh my god. Wonkiness in that line is horrific. I'll take it though. It's all over the place. So we've got that in. Let's go and put in some more little lines. So, Joff, I think you might be getting your Posca Pens. Are you sniffing Posca Pens? It's like acrylic paint. It's the Sharpies that you're not allowed to play with. And the alcohol markers. Thank you, Silent Facts. I appreciate you jumping in and sharing and all the support you give. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. And I'll catch you soon. Yeah, when I finish this, I plan on doing a little reel of it, so a 30-second reel. So yeah, have a little look out for that a little bit later on today. That will show you all of this without all the kind of rabbiting and pauses, all in 30 seconds. But yeah, cheers, Silent Facts. See you soon, mate. Right, let's get this bit in. So we've got a little line going from there. I should point out as well that one thing I do is when it comes to live streaming, there's like two things I do really. One is like I just like drawing my own thing. So this is I guess a code name project of this is the code name of this project is Draw My PFP, which is where I take somebody's PFP on X, a PFP that I particularly like. It's usually a digital drawing in the first place, and then I just do my version of it. So for this one, I'm doing like almost a carbon copy of a doggo. But yeah, so this is like me doing what I want to draw. The other thing I do though is I teach people to draw as well. So a lot of the live streams will be. Notice how I went quiet again because it was a long line. A lot of the live streams will be me showing you how to draw as well. So whether you want to learn to draw with Sharpie pens, I usually start off with Sharpie pens because everyone's got a Sharpie knocking around, and you can do some really cool stuff with Sharpie pens. Let me dig out this. This is, I think this is what we did on the most recent Doodle on Discord. And Doodle on Discord is my weekly, almost weekly, kind of drawing lesson. Joff and I host it. Joff gives away some digital art. I show people how to draw with Sharpie pens. It's as simple as that, really. Next one, yeah, just in case you're interested, next one is 5th of February. It's Wednesdays, 5th of February. Go to the Corp Dogs Discord if you want to get involved. You'll find it it'll be in the feed. But yeah, Wednesdays is usually when it is. Right, let's get this bit over here done. So that's going there. Ugh. That line's going all over the place. The thing as well is what you'll notice is when you're drawing a line and you think, oh, it's just not in the right place. I've gone way wrong with that. I mean, that line I've just done then just doesn't look, it's not in the right place. But most people who are looking won't really notice that it's not in the right place. And so it's just remembering that when you're doing your drawing, especially if you're drawing in front of people, that what you've got in your head is different to what other people see as well. So don't beat yourself up about the fact that you've not been able to draw something exactly as you wanted it, exactly as the way you saw it in your head. Especially if you're showing other people, they're not going to be any the wiser. Let's get this bit under here. We've got a bit more. Yeah, I'm not going to put the full t-shirt in. I'm just going to do a little bit around the t-shirt and the back of the cap and the logo on the cap as well. So we are kind of like home straight, nearly finished. Thanks everybody that's tuning in. If you are watching, if you could do me a huge favour and share the feed, repost it. You might need to. It depends on how you're watching. If you're watching like watching, you might need to kind of like come out of it to share it and then go back in. If you're watching on full screen, stuff like that. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you could share it. She's down at the bottom there at the moment. If you want to support Corp Dogs, share this live stream and tag at Abstract Chain with When Corp Dogs. If you could do that, that would be really appreciated. I'm trying to become an abstract creator, get accepted on their platform, and I'm sitting here kind of still waiting for them to say, yeah, we put the application in yesterday morning. I'm just going to quickly open my emails, see if I've got anything. It'd be pretty cool if they could confirm me as a creator. No. Nothing, still waiting. So yeah, if you could share it, if you can tag them, that's great. If you don't want to tag them, if you just want to share it, if you just want to like it, all that kind of stuff really goes a long way. There's 100, we've got well over 100 people watching, but 15 likes, and I'm hoping that's not 85 bots that are watching and just inflating the numbers. If you're watching, even if you don't like it, just go and tap on that heart. It makes a huge difference to what we're trying to do. Hopefully the fact that you're watching means that you've got some sort of vested interest anyway. So yeah, please go and do that. I should be forever grateful. Yeah, I should be very grateful if you did. As I look, that's all right. That line's a bit thin. I think that line's gone from a bit thin to a bit fat. Never mind. Again, you can see me just kind of like shifting lines by like a quarter of a millimeter. Also, one of the things we're trying to do is we're thinking about adjusting the time we do our doodle on Discord, our live art lessons and NFT giveaways. So we're like wondering whether earlier on, what is better. So yeah, it would really help if you let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. Are you watching from the US, Australia, the UK? I only say those 3 countries because that's usually where people are watching from. Or that's usually where my Corp Academy members come from. But yeah, if you are watching and you're from another part of the world, just go and whack it in the comments again. Let me know where you're from. I must put my lid on when I talk because it does make the pen go a little bit dry. T-shirt, what does that look like? Let's bring a line out from about there. Starting to get back into it a little bit now, so yeah, things are just starting to happen a little bit more naturally. That's a dodgy line, isn't it? Let's put that up like that. That's even worse. Look, because I've gone thick, really thick on that side, I'm going to have to now go thicker on this side to balance it all out. This little bit just there as well. X doesn't support the flag emoji. The good news is it appears on the chat down below there, which is nice. Yeah, go and throw in your flag. That'll be a bit of a test because I won't know what many of these flags are. Let's have a little go at putting in this t-shirt. So we're going to come out from here. How far out do we go? We go about to that point and then drop down. That's another thing as well. When you're drawing, you're always looking for little reference points to help you with positioning everything. So, you know, when I know that with this part of the t-shirt is going to go out and it's going to go down. But in order to help me know where it's going to come down, I'm kind of looking at this at the tip of the ear. So it's coming out this way. When it gets to the tip of the ear, that's when it drops down like that. Just in there, we've got a little line. And where's the other one? The other one is kind of starting about here, pointing in a weird direction. Oh yeah, that bit, just about there. Yeah, that looks all right. Nice. Right, back of the cap. Let's go and do that bit. So we're going to do another line coming out from. Do another line. Just going to put a single line in, just there, because we are going to put in some like mesh. We are going to put in some green as well. Let's put in a green background. Fun flags with Corp. That one is Norway. Let me know if I'm correct. I'm going to go Norway for that one. Yeah, background. I want to put in a bit of green because it's abstract. Let's go for some abstract green. I'm looking for something circular in the studio that I can use. Can't find anything. Let's just do a. Let's do a. I don't know. What shall I do? This is one of the things I always tell my students: is do not think too much about what you're doing. Just go and do it. And here I am thinking, right, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this next bit? Well, I think I'll do like a stripe going. Let's have a stripe going that way. So from about there into about there. That's nice. And then where am I going to have it coming out the other side? Let's have it coming out the other side about there. Oh my God. Do that a little bit straighter. Yeah, that looks all right. Main reason I'm doing that is because I want to put some sort of background on it. So I'm just going to colour in the bit around the black line first, and that's mainly because that's the bit I'm going to do a lot of fussing around. I'm going to bring that black line back to the front, but I will colour in the rest of it. I might even force you to watch me colouring in with Corp. So I like drawing videos. I like little drawing tutorials, videos, live sessions that show you how to draw. I get a lot from that, but I don't particularly like ones that just colour in. So we will do a little colour in with Corp session for today's live. That don't look right, does it? Let's just change that angle. Well, in fact, look, you see I've got a little bit of grey in there. What I'll do is if I bring that down to there, it means I can get rid of that accidental grey line that's just sticking out in there. Now look at how the artwork kind of ebbs and flows. It kind of goes good, goes bad, goes good, goes bad. So now we're in a bad state at the moment. We've got a load of messy lines. I'm going to go and put some more messy lines in there as well, because I'm now going to put this rough racing logo. Do I just put the R? Do I just put the asterisk? Let's see if I can get the whole thing in, shall we? So about here we've got a lightning strike. I'll give it one coat. I'll give it another coat in a little while to really make it pop out. But then we've got this R, so it goes out like that. Lift my hand carefully because I've lent on some green bits. Don't want to smudge that. That looks okay as an R. Let's go and put a U, an F, and an F. So I think let's go about there. U. Have this bit just curved down a little bit because I'm going to try and give the shape of the cap, get the shape of the cap coming out. Oh my god. The other thing to remember as well whilst you're doing these kind of drawings is that you will kind of go back and you can cut out. So like all of this, I've got some real like dodgy shapes in there, but that's okay. I will need to give it another coat, and then I'll do a bit of cutting in with that deep grey. That'll make it look a lot better. Got a few notifications. What's going on? Thanks for the repost, Joff. Appreciate that, mate. Okay, so I'm getting a bit involved in what's going on with X, which I shouldn't be. Let's get back to drawing. Right, what we no, yeah, I'm not going to do the t-shirt now. I'm going to go and put in those grids for the cap. So let's get this deep grey grid, like a zigzag thing going on across here. Yeah, that'll do. Go and throw in a bit of colour. Whilst we're just waiting for things to dry, I'm just going to chuck in some colour. When you're drawing with Posca pens, you're always kind of going all over the place with your artwork. You're kind of moving around quite a lot because you're constantly waiting for stuff to dry before moving on to something else. And so I'm kind of waiting for stuff inside the cap to dry. I quickly do this. Anybody that wants to, watch a few more live streams and things like that, hit the notifications bell. I'm planning on going live a few more times this week, doing a few more streams, just drawing my own stuff. So yeah, go and press that bell. Going off screen here. Likewise, either scroll through the Corp Dogs feed where you'll see a ton of old live streams, or go and find me on YouTube. Go to Corp Academy. Just search Corp Academy. That's with a K, as in Corp Dogs. Go search for Corp Academy on YouTube, and you'll find a shed load of content there, including like digital drawing as well as this IRL kind of stuff. replays of Doodle on Discord, and a bunch of like Posca drawing tutorials, that kind of thing. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. So look, you know I said I like it when things go wrong. Something's just gone wrong just there. I've primed my pen on the sketchbook, and it's because my studio's really warm today. It's just blurted out loads of paint on there. But what you can do with it, rather than getting this like big wet patch that's going to bubble up and look horrible, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe it off. Wipe it off, rub it into my hands, so my hands look like I'm a real artist, and then we just go and carry on with our colouring. Now, by wiping it off, what's happening there is you're making that whole section dry again, and then you just colour over the top, and nobody's any the wiser that you had a big spillage just there. Also, which I've only just noticed, is quite a nice technique. It looks quite interesting. There we go. Look, we just go over the top, gets rid of it. And again, it's that like if you want to enjoy your drawing, the main thing is knowing how to tackle any potential mistakes that might happen when anything goes wrong. It's just building that resilience, and that's one thing I like to do, is just build that resilience with people. So when things do go wrong, I like to demonstrate it. I don't stop the recording in my tutorials. I carry on, work my way through it, just because I think people can learn a lot more from when things go wrong. That probably sounds like a cliche, but I think they can. You can learn a lot more when things go wrong than when things go right all the time. And genuinely, the more often things go right, the more often things go wrong, the more often they'll eventually start going right for you, because you've once you know how to fix certain things. So I know that if my paint leaks all over my sketchbook because I was an idiot and I primed my pen on the sketchbook, I know what a ball ache that is to tidy that up, because I've physically done it. So the reality is I will probably not do that, especially in this session, but there's less chance of me doing that again. So yeah, it does help. Making little mistakes does help. Make mistakes with Corp. Maybe that should be the next live. Okay, let's go and give that. I just want to give that yellow another bit of a coat. Make it a bit more opaque. Yellow's notoriously difficult to make opaque. If you want your line work to really pop out, if you want your colouring in to really pop out, then the best thing is just to give it a real light coat. The lighter you press, the more likelihood you'll get of having a thick coat of paint on there. So nice and gentle. There we go. How's that looking? That's looking all right. The lightning strike has kind of got lost in there a little bit, so I might have to try and bring that out. The actual logo on the cap is gold, so the rough bit, the right hand side of the R and the UF are all a slightly darker colour. I wonder if I've got an ochre that I can use. Well, I have. Let's see if it's working. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a bit of a darker colour, so I'm going to put in a little bit of that. Again, when it dries, leave it to dry. Whilst that's drying, let's get back on and to bring some of these black lines back to the front. I'm going to start down the bottom here just because these are nice and easy. Just going over those green coloured bits again. Make them disappear. There we go. Makes it look like that green now is just behind our character, which is exactly what I wanted. Let's go tidy up the cap a little bit, shall we? Remember, we made a bit of a, no pun intended, but we did make a bit of a dog's dinner. of the cap, so let's go and tidy that up. What do we do on this side? So on this side we need to go all the way around. Yeah, that cap looks a lot better now, doesn't it? Bit of a dodgy bit going on there. Let's make that disappear. Nice. Where else do we want to go with this? Let's go round the cap again. Let's bring that cap, the top part of the cap that is. Let's bring that back to the front. Go around the ears. Lovely. Let's do the other side. Beautiful. I'm going to bring that out a little bit so we can round it off. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, I think it is just now getting into the rough writing across the top to cut some. Oh no, I was going to put some ochre in. So yeah, let's put some ochre in. Let's put some drips on the background, and then we'll call it a day. So just there. Look. What have we got here? Not too bad. That looks quite nice, and that looks quite realistic compared to the actual cap. So I like how that's looking now, with the lightning strike just being a bit lighter. Okay, let's go and whack some drips on. Very aware that that's making it look a bit snotty, but that's okay. I don't mind that. The t-shirt actually on this piece is a whole other piece of artwork. What should we do at the back? Let's just putting in some spots. Do I like them? Not entirely sure I do. I think I might make those disappear. Let's get into that writing again though. No, that's still too wet, that writing. Let's wait. Let's put some green spots. Around the outside there. That looks nice. Like I say, I don't like those white ones. Let's just rub them off. Get rid. Ooh, just put my finger right in the logo. Would you believe I'm a professional? So many mistakes happening at the moment. home straight there. Right, last 5 minutes, and then we're going to call it. I'm just going to go and do a little bit of cutting in around here. So we'll just sharpen these bits off. Quite difficult to do this because I'm still using a 5M pen, a real fat pen. Let's just do a quick line across the top. Let's say that top bit, everything's kind of all over the place. Do a line across like that, just neatens it all up. In fact, I like how that looks. I'm going to do it just there as well. We're doing nearly done. Rough does have racing written underneath it, but there's no way I've got space to put racing in there, so I'm going to leave that. Let's I do want to put some spots in up the top though, so I'm going to put in, this is usually where people say you've gone wrong there, you shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I like to break it up a little bit. That's it. I think that's a finish. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. That was good fun. Drawing someone's PFP. If you want your PFP drawn, then just engage with Corp Dogs. You maybe use the hashtag #DrawMyPFP or something like that. And but yeah, just engage with us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody else, probably during this week, somebody else on Abstract whose PFP is drawable, and I'll have a go at drawing that. But yeah, hope you like that one. Just so that you know, this PFP belongs to Phin Totten. You can find Phin on PHIN_TOTTEN. But yeah, this one is for Phin Totten's PFP. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for tuning in. Continue to share the feed, follow us on Corp Dogs, and me at Corporate as well. And yeah, hit the notifications bell, and I'll come back again at some stage and do some more lives. But yeah, take care, everyone. Thanks very much. Bye bye.